to Pittsburgh Her. We finally had our official launch. I definitely want to dive into how everybody felt about that. Our dear mama-to-be, Bria, DJ Femi, has a scheduling conflict, and we definitely will miss her. But we wanted to just reflect on the fact that it was a great launch. We did this in the middle of summer and got to see a lot of the people who were in support of this, and it was awesome. Christy just talked about the fact that the people who she invited showed up, and we weren't expecting. It was sort of like the loaves and fishes. Like, all of a sudden there were all these people there, and we were like, we want Jocelyn here. I was like pacing because of course she had something surgical, and I was like, I want her here like right now. So it was really awesome to be able to officially announce that, you know, Jagoff Media and Pittsburgh Magazine combined, and we have this great panel discussion on a regular basis. So here we are. Does it feel like we ripped the Band-Aid off since we did the launch initially, or do you guys still feel exactly the same? Because I feel like we haven't seen each other in a little bit. Feels the same? Yeah. Just good.
So. Great to be there.
Good place. Yeah.
See everyone.
It was really nice.
I felt
a
very
lot of
supportive.
people. Yeah, right. Yeah, a lot of people were just very, what I love is that they refilled this bowl. Yeah, so in my opinion, we got to take a little bit of time off from replacing the topics, and we have no idea what we'll get in that bowl.
And they're listening, which is sometimes, I forget.
Oh my God, you thought it was just us.
I'm just chatting with my friends.
Yeah.
And then people are like, oh my God, and that's this episode. And I'm like, oh, right.
But that's a great reminder is that if you are listening for the first time and you're choosing this episode, Pittsburgh Her is supposed to be a conversation that you've had or want to have or continue to have with your own friends and female companions. And it's an opportunity for you to get topics out and for us to talk about things that we do talk about over coffee and martinis and things like that. So here we are. We always like to have a little bit of a conversation piece. And so our question today is, did you ever have a brush with a celebrity who left you starstruck? Who and why? Anybody want to go first? I guess. Christy, do you want to go?
Well,
you have a
I'm wearing
story?
a shirt.
Yeah.
And I just told the story, but so if you remember the '80s show Family Ties, like what would we do, baby? Like the best theme song, like that, like that whole painting it makes me cry. But Skippy was Michael J. Fox's.
I know.
He was his best friend
I
on
think
the
it's
show.
on like Netflix or something.
His name was Skippy, and so Skippy was also in this movie from 1986 called Trick or Treat. Ozzy is in it, which is why I'm wearing it today. Ozzy is in it for like literally 2 minutes, but he's like top billing on the VHS. It's like a very small little bit, but it's like just iconic Ozzy. He plays like some evangelist preacher.
Natural.
Anyway, so they showed this at Parkway Theater in McKees Rocks a couple years ago, and Skippy showed up, and I got to sit right next to him watching the whole movie, and then we just hung out. And of course, I was wearing this shirt.
Did you address him as Skippy?
Yes, everyone did.
Oh.
His name is Mark.
Oh.
Mark. I don't remember off the top
Did
of my
he
head.
go on to do other things other than Trick or Treat with Ozzy and? No. Not sure.
Maybe. Check
I mean,
IMDb.
I'm asking way too
Probably
many questions, yeah.
he might have, but he was the nicest guy. And
Yeah.
Parkway Theater, Abjuration Brewing is inside. It's a great place. But the fact that this kind of stuff happens,
Yeah.
and you can go to like a little like one screen theater and just go and like sit next to the dude who's in the movie.
Sure.
And it's really great. So
I love that.
that's my brush with
Brush with fame.
Brush with fame. Sarah, do you have one?
I do. So I lived in New York for a long time, and I worked for an organization called Theater Development Fund, and I worked with accessibility services on Broadway shows. So I've met a bunch of famous people and have like good and bad stories. But my favorite one, where I like literally didn't have any words, was Jude Law was doing Hamlet.
Oh, wow.
And we were doing a signed, interpreted, and open captioned school day matinee. For students who were deaf and hard of hearing. And so we get there early to like set up the caption equipment and like the lights to focus on the interpreters. And Jude Law came out and had all these nice things to say and was like, oh, this is great. And they do this all the time on London's West End. It's like, this is the interpreted show, this is the caption show, this is the audio described show, this is da-da-da. And so he came over and he was like, hey, so is there also an audio described performance? We're like, oh yeah, there is, and it's on this date and whatever. He's like, okay, cool. Is there a touch tour for that? And a touch tour is when people with visual impairments get to go up on the stage and like with the audio describer, and they touch the set so that they get a idea. And sometimes the actors will come out if they have like costumes with texture that like would benefit from people knowing what they feel like. And Jude Law was like, is there a touch tour? And I was like,
did you answer?
No, I think I was like 24, and I think I just looked at him, and he was like, I'll ask somebody else. I was like, that's probably wise, sir. But I loved it. He was like so supportive and nice, and he was great in the show too. So that's my story I'll tell.
I love it. Jocelyn.
I love that.
Did you know who he was? You know who Jude Law is.
Oh, yeah,
for sure. You just didn't know Skippy.
I know him with probably a little less hair.
Yeah.
Fair. But yes, obviously very handsome. I know I've been sitting here like racking my brain trying to think. I think the times I've met Hillary Clinton, I was very starstruck.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Opinion of her, just
oh yeah, I mean she's
leader.
She's amazing. My rage for her simmers within every day of my life.
Same girl.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, mine's boring, and none of you are gonna know who she is, but I have always adored Judy Garland, who is obviously dead. I know you know who Judy Garland is, and I know she's dead. And so I always loved her, and her daughter is Lorna Luft, who was in Grease 2, Let's Bowl, Let's Rock and Roll. So loved her, and I got backstage passes to see her and literally could not speak. Like crazy.
That's a good one.
Yeah, but I usually am not at a loss for words, especially like, you know, and it was just so cool to meet her because of who her mom. I mean, she's an amazing talent herself. There's no question. Not in Grease 2. Not a fan. That's a whole other story. Okay. Sarah, do you want to pick? Because I feel like I don't know whose turn it's been. But if you're new to the show, we refer to our question bowl named Magnolia, which is one of the characters in Steel Magnolia.
Okay, here we go. What should every woman know about their pelvic floor?
Oh, wow. Wonder who that's for, asking for a friend. Does it say Rachel and Sarah?
Rachel and Sarah. Name, if you'd like to be mentioned, was left blank.
Oh, boy.
So that was clearly one of the questions from the launch. So
that's hilarious.
Cool.
Well, I guess it's the Jocelyn show now.
So now we're like,
yes, please, doctor.
I feel like I've been talking about pelvic floors all day long.
Cables over here.
Well, what I would say to every woman is that regardless of your age or if you've had a baby or not, you can have pelvic floor issues and they are treatable. I would also say that if you do have a baby, regardless of how you have it, C-section, vaginal, you should probably go to pelvic floor therapy, which I highly recommend to absolutely everyone to go. Like if you shoved an 8-pound human out of your ankle, like you would go to rehab, ankle therapy, right? Or your leg or your shoulder. Like if you rip and tear at a muscle or crush it or all the things, you would go to PT. And women give birth and they get some Tylenol and like a pat on the back. Like, best of luck to you.
Is there like a time limit?
No, pelvic PT.
That's a great question.
Right? Wonderful
question.
Yeah. You can go at absolutely any time. There's a lot of really good pelvic PTs in Pittsburgh. We're very lucky here that we have like I mean, there's never enough, but there is a nice population. It's very accessible.
Do Kegels really work?
Great question.
I mean, that was gonna be mine, but
kind of work.
Just keep jumping in this.
If you do them right. But Kegels, the problem with Kegels is all they really do, it would be like doing just like bicep curls all day long if you need to regain function of your arm and you really need to like get the full range of motion back. And so pelvic PTs really help you get like the full range of motion. So they treat incontinence and prolapse and pain, a variety of, other maladies, but they'll like help retrain the way that you like use the toilet and the way you like engage your muscles, and you learn.
How do you actually? I'm so serious. How do you actually know that you need it, or are you saying it's inevitable? You should just
that's a great question. I'm a urogynecologist, and like pelvic floor medicine is all about what bothers you. So if you can live with it, I mean,
Sure.
I don't love that because there's a lot of people that live with a lot of things. It doesn't mean it's not affecting their quality of life, but you need to decide when the leakage that you have or the pain that you have with intercourse or the like pressure feeling that you feel is too much for you to continue living the quality of life that you want to live. So that's how I would say.
And so before this was even discovered that people should do, seriously, people just lived that way. It was just this.
Totally. It's very interesting. I see so many patients come in of, like I said, all ages, but in particular, I don't know if there's a Pittsburgh thing, like the women who are maybe between the ages of like 60 and 90, I don't know, maybe a little older. It is unbelievable. They just like the things they suffer with. They come in, I'm like, how long have you been living this way?
Right.
And their daughter's always with them. And she's like, she never told me, but she's been living like this for 25 years. And I'm like, your uterus is like at your knees. Like, ma'am,
I hate when that
like,
happens.
I can help you with this. She's like, oh, it's okay. I just want you to tell me that it's okay to live with. I'm like, what? And then you see the generational divide where the daughter is like, no, I would never let this happen. Like, and I turned to her, I'm like, please come sooner if this ever happens to you. And it is a very obvious generational difference. Yeah. So I don't know. I ask those women, I'm like, why? Right. Why? And they just usually just tell me they're scared. They're like, I'm scared of doctors. I was just scared to come. I didn't have time to come. I was taking care of my husband. He was ill. I was taking care of everyone but myself. Yeah. It's fine. I'm like,
yeah, I was really embarrassed too.
And embarrassed.
Right. Yeah. Wow. Because wasn't there a mesh something at some point that was supposedly because I went to Dr. Kyra Steele. I don't know if you ever heard of her.
It's a great name.
Right.
It is a good name. Sounds
I'm
like
trying to think of the year, like 2015. Yeah. Okay. Because I had my I had already had a hysterectomy and my tubes tied. Well, my tubes tied. And I had no idea what was going on. And I had issues with like very obviously young. This was 10 years ago. Yeah. And I was like, why am I feeling like I have to go to the bathroom all the time? And the urologist was like, it's really not me, but I would go there. Like, it's not my department. Like you have other things. And so when I went, they were like, well, how are you, again, 10 years ago, how are you feeling about a mesh? I'm like, I am young. Like, should I do this? I don't know if that was, and I don't remember where we went on that conversation. I did have therapy for about 2 months off and on, and I quit going, and I completely regret it because the older I'm getting, I know now that it's here and talked about, right, exactly. Yeah, but how crazy.
Yeah, no, we still do. So a lot of people have heard of the mesh that used to be used 10 or more years ago. Right. That was all taken off the market because it was not well researched and it turned out to be pretty harmful. We still have some lightweight mesh grafts that we use for pelvic floor reconstruction, but they're very different than those meshes that all the lawsuits were about. So we use them selectively in the right patient, but in the right patient, they're very effective, very safe. Like, we finally have good research, but that's the problem, is that we don't spend very much money on research on women's health at all in this country, and even less on anything unrelated to pregnancy, which this is, but I mean, actively being pregnant or getting pregnant. And after that, we're like, well, you're on your own. Good luck. So, yeah, but that was a great question.
Yeah, good question, whoever it was. Yeah.
Whoever it was can follow me on Instagram.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, for real. Where can they follow you?
My Instagram account is JJ Fitzgerald MD. So you're welcome to find me there.
We could lead right into, because we have a little bit of a question for you and Miss Christy.
Oh, yes.
So I found that you have an app. Did you develop the app?
Yeah, I did. Gosh. I have a few of them.
The things you find out about Jocelyn here. Right.
I have a few of them.
I was scrolling and I was like, wait, she has an app. And so you're helping shape a better life for women's health regularly, obviously. You have your own app called Landmark Studies. Is that for your colleagues, but then you have something else for the common folk?
There's a few things, but the one that you've referenced in the question is more of like an educational tool for my colleagues. When I was a fellow in DC, I was like, we have all these research studies and they all have these like cuckoo acronyms, like the ABC trial or SISTER or STEAM, like they all have these funny names, and no one can ever keep them straight, and we get tested on them. So I was like, we need to put these all in one place. And so anyway, I did that, and it became a hit, and everyone like uses it to study for their boards and whatever. And I had to like revamp it recently, so I reposted it, which is why you saw it.
Awesome.
But I also have one with all of those old meshes, because I still see a lot of older women who come in with their mesh in, but it's not mesh that's made anymore, and it was never cataloged, and it was all taken off the market, and the lawsuits got rid of all the information about most of them. So if you're a surgeon that needs to take it back out, you can't find like any paper trail of what these things were. So we built an app so that you can like hunt down the meshes. But I don't know, it's actually, I had to ask my little brother to help me do it, just so everyone knows. Like he's 10 years younger than me, and he created a tech company, and I was like, how does one make an app? And he was like, you can actually do it very easily with Google Google stuff. And so
Google
stuff.
The Google
stuff.
The
The Google.
Google.
So he showed me how. But
So what is an app that you would recommend that we should use?
that is a wonderful question. It depends on like what you want to use it
Like overall
for.
women's health, sure.
For women's health overall, I will say this literally just today. There's a nice company. Well, they're not really a company. They're more of a research engine. It's called the Foundation for Female Health Awareness, and they have an AI app that is built by like my colleagues, like evidence-based, like really well-known doctors. And you can like ask it a women's health question in the app.
Cool.
So I like partnered with them recently, and they're like very trusted, and the app is free, so that's a good one. There's an app called Rosie, which is for like female sexual dysfunction that people find to be very helpful. It was invented by a very well-known OBGYN that I know, and it's like a little bit more holistic, and it has just like delves more into like the female, intimate experience, and kind of like takes you through like the understanding of like your anatomy and some resources and partnerships and relationships, and I think there's some erotica in there. I mean, I don't know, there's a bunch of things, but it's like a doctor-made sexual health app for women, which doesn't really exist. So that's a good one too.
The things you learn. Oh my gosh.
It's called the Rosie app.
Christy, I know we just learned about these apps that we should have, and
chicken
so
wings. That's my
you-
wheelhouse,
you-
but I don't know.
I need an app to find chicken wings though.
I mean, listen, you do often talk about perimenopause and menus, but this time Phyllis Diller. And how does Phyllis Diller
segue.
relate? There isn't one, Sarah. I made clear that there's not one on that one. That's why.
I posted a picture. I saw Phyllis Diller in 1973. She was the first centerfold in Field and Stream.
Do you believe that?
That made me laugh. It was just funny.
That is funny.
Yeah.
Phyllis Diller, if
Also,
you don't
there's
know, like she was just like comedian. She was very self-effacing. It was just like, I don't know. She always said that she was very ugly, which I don't think. She had crazy blonde hair.
She was just so unique.
She was the best Scooby-Doo guest star.
That's what I was going to say. Okay.
I think she had like 3 episodes in Scooby-Doo, but and her husband Fang, and I don't know, she was just like a character, and I really love really, like Gilda Radner and Carol Burnett.
Love her.
People like that if you're funny, it's sexy. So I've always gravitated to women that were very intelligent and very funny. And
Do you watch Hacks?
No.
I can't believe you don't watch Hacks. I feel like Hacks. Okay, you must watch it. It's about female comedians and lesbians. So tremendous show.
What are you
It is
even doing?
the head. The actress is Jean Smart, who I'm sure you've heard of.
yeah.
And she's like in her 70s, and she's having her like
She was a designing woman.
second, third act. And then she hires this like Gen Z assistant who is also like a budding comedian who like tries to revamp her act.
What is this on?
It's on HBO. It's very critically acclaimed. It's on its 4th season. It's won like Emmys and stuff. So I'm surprised you have not watched it, because you would love it. And so she's like this very like prissy, like totally different generation. She does not understand Gen Z language, and her lesbian Gen Z assistant, who is also a great comedian, who is trying to make her relevant.
Oh, fun.
And it's just so hilarious.
Yes.
I think you would
I love this.
Thank you.
See, that was the correlation. You just didn't know. I was setting it up.
Oh, totally.
Just kidding. I'm just
It's
Anyways, this is our latest episode. We want to hear you and to add our discussion with fresh content, but exciting that we got some fresh Our podcast is live at Pittsburgh Magazine and your Jagoff, as well as wherever you get audio podcasts. It looks like Spotify is doing very well. Message us some topics, and as always, keep giving us information for Pittsburgh Her. Thanks.
See you next Tuesday.
Oh, God. Yay.
I'm going to say it every time.